early?
I'm taking the rest of the day off.
Well, that's a good idea. Is there a problem?
I was having a perfectly wonderful day until Stephanie Forrester called me.
What did she want?
The usual. To harass me about Thorne.
Caroline, do you want me to talk to her?
No. No, thank you. But this is something that I have to handle myself. Looks like you're going somewhere, huh?
Yes, I'm meeting with my attorney.
Is Margo here?
She's taking a shower.
What are you meeting with your attorney about?
Well, something I'm going to arrange.
Business?
No, it's personal. I'm going to adopt Margo's son.
What?
It's something that I truly want to do.
Whose idea was this?
Mine, of course.
I'm sure Margo didn't object to it.
Actually, I did catch her off guard.
I don't know why. It's very beneficial to her son.
Caroline, this is something that I really want to do. Not just for Mark, but for Margo and myself as well. It's a chance to solidify this family.
But, Dad, a marriage that's on solid ground doesn't need a child to solidify it.
I certainly hope you're not implying anything.
Have you really thought about this?
Yes, I have.
Dad, raising a child, that's an 18-year commitment at the minimum.
I realize that.
Oh, wait a minute, wait. It's not that I have anything against Mark. I think that he is a remarkable child. But, Dad, your relationship with Margo is so young and it is so new. You should really give this more thought, more time. It's the only prudent thing to do.
That is enough. I have made up my mind. This child is going to become my own. I'll see you tonight.
Looks great.
Thank you.
Starved.
They're having lunch. Talking. What are they talking about? I wish I could hear them. What are they saying? It has to be business. Yes. Of course it is. Thorne wouldn't do this to me.
So how's the sandwich?
Terrific.
Yeah, but you're still thinking about that picture of Devaney.
She gives me a snapshot that was developed yesterday, and she tells me it was taken months ago.
Well, maybe you just heard her wrong, Thorne.
No, Donna, I didn't hear her wrong. But look, let's not waste time talking about that. Not while I'm with you.
Okay, let's talk about you.
I don't want to talk about me. We always talk about me. Let's talk about you. I want to know if you have any guys in your life.
Caroline.
Oh, hi, Margo. How are you?
What are you doing here?
You know, that's just the kind of question that really bothers me about you. I live here. That's what I'm doing here.
Caroline, it's the middle of the day. You're usually at work.
So are you.
Well, today I'm going to work at home, which means I'll need a little quiet time.
So in other words, would you like me to leave?
Caroline, this is my home now. You're staying here, but only as a guest. And frankly, I can't see why you'd want it any differently.
the bold and the beautiful. This portion sponsored by Wheat Thins, the great tasting whole wheat snack.
You know, Margo, this was my home long before it was yours.
Caroline, I'm not trying to take your home away from you. Don't be so defensive. I'm just wondering why you'd come back here. I mean, it's so unlike you.
All right, I'll tell you why I'm living here. But then I have some questions I'd like to ask you.
Fair enough.
I'm living here because I'm establishing a residence in Nevada, which is where I now do have an apartment.
Oh. So if you had an apartment here, you couldn't be considered a resident of Nevada?
Yes, that's right.
And of course, you want to be a resident of Nevada because of their divorce laws, which would make you a free woman much sooner than in California.
All right, I think we've talked enough on that matter. And now there is another reason that I'm living here, and it involves my father.
Oh?
I want to believe in your marriage, Margo. I think maybe even more than you do. But you're making that very difficult on me. And that is why I'm staying here.
To keep an eye on things. Is that what you're saying?
I couldn't have said it better.
Did I put you on the spot?
No, I just, well, yeah, I guess you did.
Well, I would think that a lead model would have more than her share of male companions.
Thorne, your perception of a lead model and what I do for Spectra are really quite different.
Why is that?
Well, I don't exactly live the glamorous life of a Forrester model. I mean, I primarily consider myself a college student.
So strange. Do you know how many women would kill to have your job?
Well, don't think I'm not grateful for it. But I just don't want to be modeling 10 or even 5 years from now.
What do you want to be doing?
Leave, Thorne. Just leave. You had lunch. You discussed whatever you and she had to discuss. Now get out of there. It's time to go back to Forrester's.
I don't know what I expect to be doing. But I hope I'm not doing it alone. So, did you go to college?
Sure.
But you knew you'd be working for your dad once you graduated.
Well, it was only because I wanted to.
You know, I bet you hear this all the time, but your life is so incredible to someone like me.
You know, it's funny, but people say that all the time, but I really don't see how it's really that much different. Of course, being a Forrester does have its pluses, but it also has its minuses.
Like what?
Perfect example. Last fall, my brother was shot by a prowler.
That's right. They never caught that guy, did they?
No, but the lieutenant who's in charge of the case feels confident that they will.
Well, they must have a suspect.
Apparently, they don't have enough evidence. But look, Donna Logan, I could sit here all afternoon and talk to you, but I have to get going.
Well, I hope I haven't kept you waiting too long.
Impossible. Can we do this again?
Yeah, whenever you want.
Barry, Come on in.
You know, I'm afraid I don't have the kind of news you've been hoping for.
You spoke to Garrison?
Oh, yes, I spoke with him.
He wasn't very receptive, was he?
He almost threw me out of his apartment.
But you did get your message across.
The message?
What it would be like for his son if I were to adopt him.
I explained all that.
Financial awards, the acceptance, and the fact that my last name would make this boy legitimate.
I told him everything.
He understood.
Billy's a very hot-tempered fellow, and there's a lot of pride.
Yeah, more pride than brains.
But I presented all the arguments. Yes, he did understand them, though it didn't seem to have much impact.
It will.
I'm not so sure.
Barry, if he does love the boy, he's going to see the advantage of my adopting him. But if he doesn't love him, well, then some well-timed motivation is certainly going to change his mind.
What kind of motivation are you talking about?
You let me worry about that. And right now, let's just give Garrison the room to think this over. He may be hot-headed. He's not stupid. He'll come around.
You know, I'm surprised. I didn't expect you to take this so well.
Well, Garrison's heard my arguments. That's all I really wanted. Oh, he's very young. He's extremely ambitious and talented. But he has one problem. Child out of wedlock. And that just does not mesh with his plans, I'm sure of that. No, I'm offering this man a way to get from underneath the burden that's going to follow him for the rest of his life. He is going to come around, Barry. A man like Garrison does not raise a child on his own. Cramps his style.
Well, at least we're being honest and open with each other.
One of us is.
Caroline, I'm not hiding anything from you, nor do I owe you any explanations.
That sounds like something only a guilty person would say.
What am I guilty of?
Of taking advantage of a man who only has honest intentions towards you, Margo. A man who loves you very deeply.
I'm not taking advantage of your father, if that's what you're trying to say.
Well, I don't get the impression that you're in love with him either.
How can you make a statement like that? You rarely see us together.
Which in itself is saying something. Margo, one could make a case out of the fact that you didn't marry my father for love. Or even for your own security. But for your son's security. To give him a name and a future. And I understand that. If I was in your position, I might have done the same thing. I would just like you to admit it. Will you?
Oh, that was you that came in.
Yep.
How's your day?
Oh, pretty good. It started out good and it got better.
Well, honey, that's wonderful. What happened?
I made 2 visits today. First one was to the Logan home.
Oh, I see.
Mother, Donna Logan is a nice person.
Honey, the world is filled with nice people.
Would you do me a favor, please? Would you just try to be a little more open-minded about her?
You said you made a second stop. What was it?
I went and saw Devaney Dixon today.
Oh, you did?
She said she found a picture of herself before the accident.
You said she destroyed all those pictures.
Yeah, I sure did say it.
Well, obviously, this isn't what you thought.
No, it wasn't what I thought at all, Mother. Here, take a look. It's not even Devaney. This is a picture of somebody else.
No, I did not marry your father for my son's benefit.
But that's what's happening, isn't it?
Adopting Mark was your father's idea.
Who planted that idea?
Why don't you ask my husband?
I already have, and his answer's very vague.
Well, maybe that's because it's still just an idea. You know, Caroline, What is it with you? I mean, is it the inheritance? Is that what has you so worried?
Margo, I hadn't even thought about that.
Oh, I bet.
I'm searching for a reason, for a rationale as for why you married my father.
Well, how about love, companionship, the need to share?
But you're not in love with him, Margo. He's been asking you to marry him for the past 2 years. And before the baby came along, you always said no.
You know, maybe it does have something to do with Mark. But it's not the way you're thinking.
Well, tell me, in what way?
He made me realize how much I wanted a family. And a man to share my life with. Suddenly, your father became very desirable to me. I wanted him. That's why I married him.
If I ask you a question, can I get an honest answer? If Clark Garrison had been available, would my father still have been so desirable to you? No, I didn't think so. That's why I can't trust you, Margo. Now, this is a warning. I will not let my father be walked on, not by you and not by anyone. I won't let that happen. And you can count on it.
Stephanie has given you a picture, but it is not a photograph of herself.
No. Look at the processing date on the back. It was developed yesterday, Mother.
But she gave it to you.
I went to her apartment after she called. She was waiting there with the picture, and she said it was taken of her before the accident.
Well, she lied.
Apparently.
But why?
I've thought about it all day.
Well, what conclusion can you come to?
Only one. It's very sad.
What is it?
She knows Dr. Schnell can make her look like she did before the accident. All he needed was a picture.
But she destroyed all the pictures.
No, Mother. The truth is, she didn't want to find one.
So what you're saying is...
She didn't want to look like she did before the accident, Mother. She wanted to look like this. And look at her. She's a classic beauty.
Apparently, Debney was not pretty.
Obviously, she was not a very attractive woman. And this was her big chance. This was her chance to be beautiful again. My God, when you think about what that poor girl went through, you ask yourself, does she not deserve that chance?
I'm curious. I'm curious now to know what she looked like before the accident. Before she was burned.
No. You betrayed me. How could you do this, Thorne? Making me think that you really cared about me. How could you do this? Knowing how much I need you. Now, you're going to have to pay. But first things first. I'll take care of myself.
And then?
I'll make it so you can never hurt me again.